Aquaus Kelley, 7 Days of Wisdom, Saturday, May 9th, 2020. The time now is 11:09 a.m. And I wanted to share my thoughts on the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. 2 days ago on Thursday, I kept seeing posts dedicated to Ahmaud, and it only took but for so long for me to actually look into those posts, because I had no idea that this incident happened back in February. And if it wasn't for the amplification on social media, I still wouldn't have known. However, after looking into what took place and looking at the video, and once again seeing the backlash, which is very necessary, that occurred thanks to the internet, I thought to ask myself some questions. And whenever a situation garners national attention, global attention, I always ask myself, how can I contribute in a meaningful way to this discussion? And I believe that the best ways that we can contribute to anything is through knowing what we do well. So for me, I believe that I've always been very reflective and thoughtful and critical in regards to how I analyze and look at things. And I would lead with reflection, because in looking at the videos and listening to other people's thoughts on the topic at hand, the first thing that came to mind, the first question that came to mind, and I have it written down right here, is, and this was something I wrote down on Thursday, right? May 7th, 3:56 p.m. to be exact. In the court of law, what warrants someone being sentenced to life in prison or being sentenced to the death penalty, right? So I wanted to really look at the spectrum and scope of things based off, in regards to all of the crimes that can possibly happen in the world. What exact crimes actually warrant life in prison? What exact crimes actually warrant the death penalty within a judicial system? So those are the first questions that came to mind. And to follow that up, I wrote down, considering these warrants, what does killing unarmed black men, considering these warrants, why does killing unarmed black men not meet the criteria for severe sentencing in the court of law? Right? So think about it. Based on our judicial system, we have sentences, right? Life in prison, death sentences. So whether or not I'm a fan of a death sentence or the death penalty is another conversation. However, it is a type of sentence. So knowing that life in prison is a type of sentence, and knowing that the death penalty is a type of sentence, I ask myself, okay, if these are sentences, why do these sentences exist, and what exactly warrants these kinds of sentences? What crimes warrant these kinds of sentences? And then I really took a look at this situation and then past situations of all of the black men and black people, black women black humans that we are losing, why is it not a severe crime to murder a black person? Let's think about it. Why is it not a severe crime to murder a black person? Murdering a police officer, murdering a public official, we call that assassination. Why isn't murdering a black person a similar sentence? Let's think about it. So this is how I look at situations like this now. I really want to analyze things from a reflective point of view where I'm grounded in the information that I'm presented, and I'm grounded in what I believe I have or I can make the most meaning of. So of course, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a judge. I do not work in the justice system. However, looking at things logically and looking at things critically and looking at things from a different point of reference, right? I believe that a lot needs to be changed, and there's a lot of thinking that needs to happen on our end, but more so a lot of action that needs to happen on our end in regards to really creating just systems which will help to create a just society. It's difficult to live in a just society if there are no just consequences, right? It's difficult to live in a just society if there are no just consequences. So when black people are killed and murdered and the sentences are not aligned with the severity of those crimes will continue to happen. So this is why I feel the need to do this video and share my thoughts, because we need to voice our opinions. We need to voice our thoughts based off of the information we have, and just create better ways of going about creating a more just and more fair society. In addition to that, yesterday would have been the 26th birthday of Ahmaud Arbery. So let's always celebrate that. For everyone who went out to run, it's much appreciated. We have to continue to really use our minds and use our power and use our talent to create the change that is necessary to prevent these crimes and murders from happening. How are we going to do that? That's a question we should all have in our minds every day, every single day, right? Let's not get distracted. Let's stay on focus, stay on track, and do what we need to do within our power to create a better and just society. What really sparked me to also do this video is the fact that yesterday I came across on Instagram, I came across the work of Danielle Koch. I'm looking at her page right now, and she had an amazing visual of a quote by Kamala Harris, which said, "Exercising while black should not be a death sentence." So again, in alignment with my notes here, right, in regards to what actually warrants a death sentence and what warrants life in prison, and why are killing unarmed black people, innocent black people, not considered severe crimes. That hit it on the head. Exercising while black should not be a death sentence. But what should? What should? All right? So thank you, Danielle Koch, for sharing that. And then lastly, I was looking at a video, I believe it was CNN, where Mr. Arbery mentioned they need the harshest crime they can get. They need the harshest crime they can get. So again, this goes back to the judicial system. What can we do? What can we do to change the policies and create the policies that are necessary, to enable fair sentencing and fair punishment for the murder of black people? All right? So once again, this was an unarmed black male who was jogging in a neighborhood. He did not have a weapon, right? No weapon. He's not a threat. If this was a police officer who was murdered, I'm sure that they would have been taken into custody immediately and never seen the light of day again. However, it took February, March, April, May, it took like 3 months for the guys who committed this murder to be taken into custody, which is unacceptable. If it wasn't for the uproar via social media, this wouldn't have happened. Again, I did not know about this until 2 days ago, right? So if it wasn't for the release of the video, this wouldn't have happened. Unacceptable. And again, to look back at things from just really a critical and logical perspective. In the state of Georgia, I'm looking at punishments for murder. And in the state of Georgia, involuntary manslaughter, 1 to 20 years. Voluntary manslaughter, 1 to 20 years. Second degree murder, 10 to 30 years, sorry. Malice murder and felony murder. Death, life without parole, or life without parole eligibility after 30 years. So again, malice murder and felony murder. So what exactly is malice murder, right? So malice murder refers to murders committed with a specific intent to kill, or with specific intent to cause serious bodily harm. Let's take this all into consideration. Malice murder is what happened based on the evidence that we have cannot be considered a malice murder. If it can, according to just general information, again, I'm not an attorney or judge or anyone who works in the judicial system, but just looking at information, a malice murder warrants death, life without parole, right? So let's see how things unfold. Let's see how things take place, and let's see what takes place, and let's continue to talk, take action, and contribute whatever we can to this conversation, right? So me being who I am, I feel the best way that I can contribute to this conversation is to create dialogue such as the dialogue that I'm creating now. And through this, and through research, and through me continuing to learn more and gain more information, maybe I can have a larger voice or a greater seat at the table one day. Who knows? We don't know. However, based on today, based on what I can contribute today, and based on my control and influence, I feel it's important for me to do this video and share my thoughts. And I encourage everyone else to do the same. If you're an athlete and you have a platform, if you're an entertainer and have a platform, whatever platforms we have, it's important to contribute meaningfully to conversations and significant events that affect us all and impact us all. So all I'm doing now is using my voice and using my platform to share my thoughts in regards to a situation and an incident that should not have happened. And I feel it's important to analyze information that we have in front of us and ask reflective questions, such as what actually warrants certain sentencing and why aren't the murders of Black people considered severe crimes. So with that being said, Aquaus Kelley, 7 Days of Wisdom, A Lover's Ambition. Peace.